A businessman and former Attorney General make up new cabinet of ministers. Head of Commonwealth Secretariat Election Observer denies partisan affiliation. And Chief Elections Officer has agreed to investigate UWP complaints. I am Lurian Graham with the Channel 5 News. Details after this.
Looking for the best deals on household and electronic items? Then shop and save at the Muslim store. Prices slashed. Television at the Muslim store. Prices slashed. Washers. It's the Muslim style. Prices slashed. Laptops at the Muslim store. Prices slashed. Jewelry. It's the Muslim style. Visit us on the Bayfront today. The Muslim store. Locally born, locally grown.
Upgrade to the season's best shares. Get the Alcatel Pixie 2 with a great free gift. Upgrade Christmas with Lime.
That's so big. That's really big.
This is big! Upgrade to a data wonderland. Get the season's best deal on the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, only from Lime.
Cashwiz is the one-of-a-kind pawn shop in Dominica. We'll trade all your old and used appliances for cash, grant loans applicable to the value of your vehicle and other appliances. A community service-oriented organization actively involved in building communities and empowering the young, while partnering with social groups for nation building. So come to Cashwiz Dominica on the corner of Stibble Street and St. Johnson's Avenue, Pottersville, Roseville. Call us today at 440-5555. Check us out on Facebook or email dominica@cashwiz.com.
Welcome to Holland. Welcome to the country of the world's most famous cows. This is where your Dutch lady milk comes from. Taste our nature at its best. Dutch Lady. Discover the goodness of milk from Holland.
Ho, ho, ho! It's the ram that I want to pull up my belly. It's the ram that I want to bat in the batty.
Play Big 4 and win even more this Christmas. Spend $9 or more on Big 4 tickets and get a free letter. Spell ham, rum or buy and win hams, single barrel rum and shopping vouchers. Plus, non-winning promotional tickets gets a chance to win one of 4 supermarket shopping sprees valued at $1,000. The more tickets you buy, the more letters you get to win. Have a cheerful ham and rum Christmas from the Dominica National Lottery. Promotion starts November 10th to December 31st.
Welcome back. 3 new government senators have been given ministerial posts under the Roosevelt Skerrit-led administration.
President Charles Savarin administered the oath of office to 16 ministers and 1 parliamentary secretary on Saturday at the Windsor Park Stadium. That includes 3 senators. They are businessman Robert Tong, Minister of Tourism and Urban Renewal, Miriam Blanchard, Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office, and Francine Barron, Minister of Foreign Affairs and CARICOM. Barron served as Attorney General under the Labour Party government from 2007 to 2010. She was later appointed as High Commissioner of Dominica to the United Kingdom.
Well, I was asked to serve as Minister of Foreign Affairs and CARICOM Matters, and it was my pleasure to accept. I think, as the Honourable Prime Minister has indicated, we are at the verge of taking off. And we need all hands on deck now to ensure that the program that the government has indicated in the Dominica Labour Party manifesto can be brought to fruition. So it has been my pleasure to accept the offer of the Prime Minister. I think that we will see good things happening in Dominica over the next 5 years.
How was your stint in the UK? How long did you remain there as High Commissioner?
I was in the UK for about a period of maybe 2 years, about 8 months. And that obviously has come to an end as I've taken up this position. And it has been a very fruitful 2 years and 8 months. We have had great interaction with the diaspora in the UK.
5 female ministers in this cabinet is a record number of women on the government side in Parliament. One of them is Catherine Daniel, Minister of Social Services, Family and Gender Affairs.
One of the things in my campaign that I said I wanted to work closely with people because I'm a caring person and I think I got the right ministry for that. So I feel enthusiastic. It's a bit away from what I'm accustomed to all my life. I've been in education and it's new, so it gives me new vigor. I think the PM is very good at what he does, and then I guess from what I see, he matches your skill, your personality to somewhere where you can give maximum benefit to the people that he wants you to serve. And I think being in education all my life, from childhood to now, I think the change is a welcome change for me. It will give me a new perspective. But again, one mustn't think that because you're not in education that you can't help, because you're in cabinet. And so you can contribute, place your skills wherever it's needed.
The other ministers are Justina Charles, Minister of Youth, Sports, Culture and Constituency Empowerment; Dr. Colin McIntyre, Minister of Planning, Economic Development and Investment; Reginald Austrebe, Minister of Housing, Lands and Water Resource Management; Ian Pinard, Minister of Public Works and Ports; Johnson Drygo, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries; Ian Douglas, Minister of Trade, Energy and Employment; Reuben Blackmore, Justice, Immigration and National Security; Peter Serjeant, Minister of Education and Human Resource Development; Rosalind Paul, Minister of Commerce, Enterprise and Small Business Development; Dr. Kenneth Daru, Minister of Health and Environment; Calva Daru, Minister of Information, Science, Telecommunications and Technology; Cassius Daru, Minister of Kalinago Affairs; and Ivor Stevenson, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Environment. Prime Minister Skerrit has also announced DLP's General Secretary Edward Regist and President of the National Youth Council Josiah Benoit will be government senators. They will be sworn in when Parliament convenes. Idona Jean Baptiste, Channel 5 News.
And government will seek to diversify the agriculture and tourism industries as part of plans to realize economic growth. During his address at the cabinet swearing-in ceremony, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit outlined how that vision will get off the ground.
To start with, we have now transformed agriculture from total dependence on one crop, using the old methods of production. We now have farmers producing a wide range of agricultural products. We have also modernized agriculture through the Agricultural Center, built with the support of the People's Republic of China. The Dominica State College will also establish a new faculty to help train more and more young farmers in Dominica. In addition to this, fisherfolk throughout Dominica will be trained and assisted in modernizing fishing.
Skerrit expects that tourism will be boosted to contribute to 15% of the country's GDP.
In order to achieve this goal, we have drawn up and started the implementation of the Tourism Master Plan of 2030. At the center of the plan is a commitment to diversify our tourism product. Hence, ecotourism has been and will continue to be supported by educational tourism, cultural tourism, heritage tourism, and sports tourism. Once again, the Dominica State College will establish a new faculty to provide students with the necessary skills to boost the hospitality sector.
The Prime Minister was sworn in as Minister of Finance last Thursday. He is also Minister responsible for public service. In other news, head of the Commonwealth Secretariat Election Observer Mission here for the December 8 polls has rejected criticism that his team is working in the interest of the Labour Party government.
The Commonwealth Secretariat observed general elections here for the first time. The 4-member team was headed by Jean-Pierre Kingsley, former Chief Electoral Officer of Elections in Canada. They spent 2 weeks here. Part of that was before Election Day. Last Friday, they also recorded footage from the United Workers' Party's protest outside the electoral office.
I am not getting 1 red cent of payment for what I'm doing. I am here voluntarily. The Commonwealth has asked me to volunteer. I volunteered. This is how I decided to spend 2 weeks of my life, because I care about good elections around the world. And I was invited to Dominica, and I am here. Not 1 red cent. They are kind enough to pay for my lodging, my transportation, and my meals. That I have accepted. Nothing else. And so has my co-worker, by the way. Okay? Cynthia Barrow-Giles is here voluntarily, like I am. The other 2 are paid staff from the Commonwealth, but they're not the people who will sign their names to that report.
Their report on Dominica elections should be issued in January. Generally, the election observers consider the proceedings on polling day to be fair and professional.
I have seen public demonstrations relating to elections before. In a democracy, people have a right to express their discontent when they see something with which they're discontented. I see this as being natural. I see this in other countries. I've seen it in other countries, and I'm seeing it here. So I'm not astounded. I'm not surprised beyond belief. We're dealing with a new parliament here. There's a government that has been re-elected. But at the same time, there's been a change in the composition of the House. There's been changes in certain players. And there is a growing consciousness that there is a need for change to the electoral statute. And one can only hope that this will find its way and be translated into laws that will improve the situation for Dominicans.
Now on to entertainment. A carnival pageant aimed at giving back to the community has officially launched 7 contestants for the Carnival Mothers Queen Show 2015. Secretary-Treasurer of the pageant, Claudine Charles, says the purpose of the show is to portray Dominica's traditional costumes and to highlight the talent of the mothers. Charles says the pageant also collects funds to give back to Dominica.
We gave back to the government printry for the assistance in hosting of their Easter Val, and to the Operation Youth Quick, who generally help with the needy children of our community, of our country. In 2014, we gave back to the Social Center, who works with our young people.
She says in 2015, they intend to give back to the convent prep to help the school's eating area. The contestants will appear in 6 rounds: opening number, talent, swimwear, traditional old masquerade, evening wear, and question and answer segment. The contestants are Kendra Stephen, 30 of Newtown, Frances Lockhart, 28 of Viecaz, Annadale Jacob, 26 of St. Joseph, Tamika Albert, 21 of Loda, Geraldine Davis, 28 of Foncolé, Lena Durant, 28 of Calibishi, and Eloise Etienne, 26 of Kalinago Territory and Stock Farm. Kendra Stephen is being sponsored by 0 Degrees, the only contestant so far to secure sponsorship. The Carnival Mothers Queen Show will be on February 7, 2015 at the Arawak House of Culture. This is Channel 5 News. Coming up, the outcome of the UWP meeting with the Chief Elections Officer.
Make their wishes come true at Courts this Christmas. Gifts for Dad you know he'll love. Something special just for Mom. And gifts for Big Brother and Sister too. Shop today and pay absolutely nothing until February 2015 on 24 months and over accounts. So complete your gift list this Christmas only at Courts, bringing value home.
The magic of mobile insurance is at your fingertips. Download the Beacon Buddy app today to renew your insurance and check on your claims from anywhere in the world. Don't worry, get happy.
Beacon will cover you and we'll always see you through. We'll be there for you.
Dominica.
Upgrade Sublime. Upgrade. Up, 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 up.
You've got a $60 million upgrade. With this massive upgrade to our network, we're making Dominica one of the best connected countries in the world. Giving you greater reliability and 100% super fast 4G coverage.
Upgrade Sublime. Upgrade.
Upgrade Dominica. Upgrade to 100% super fast 4G coverage.
Ozone.
Use Ozone. 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 Never done till the dirt is gone. Ozone.
Thank you for staying with us. In 2 weeks, members of the United Workers' Party will get a response from the Chief Elections Officer on complaints of election irregularities raised at the meeting on Monday. The United Workers' Party staged another protest outside the electoral office due to what they say are unfair practices that took place on December 8th, especially in the Grand Forks constituency. UWP candidate for the Grand Forks Montjean constituency Thompson Fontaine says, according to the electoral office, it has no power over the count of ballots in his constituency.
And that's only a court that can order the reopening of the boxes. So we are in the process of pursuing this through the court. We believe all we're asking for is a clean count. We believe that a clean count will show that I am the rightful winner of this constituency. So we'll be asking the court to do that. Mr. Larrock assures us that the ballot boxes have been secured and that there is no, within his office, and that there is no possibility of it being tampered with at this point.
He has encouraged supporters to be patient as the party awaits word from the electoral office.
We believe Mr. Larrock. We have no reason to doubt his sincerity, and we are confident going forward. So I would like us to be patient. A grave injustice has been done, and I know there are people calling for us to move on, but we cannot move on. We should not move on.
Fontaine has claimed that votes for him were categorized as rejected ballots to sway the results in favor of DLP's Ivor Stevenson.
And he assures us that there are regulations. The regulations allow for punishment if these persons are found to have been in breach of the clear rules that have been set. Just to reiterate, the rules that we're concerned about is the presence of an election clerk on the night of the vote of the count in the constituency counting ballots. That is expressly forbidden under the Act. And the same elections clerk returned the next day in the final count.
In related news, Parliamentary Representative-elect of the Grand Forks constituency, Ivor Stevenson, says he is still in a positive mindset despite an impending legal battle by the opposition. Stevenson spoke to Channel 5 News after the cabinet swearing-in ceremony on Saturday.
I know from the onset that I won in the Montjean University constituency. So having been put in the Ministry of Health and Environment, especially in the capacity as Parliamentary Secretary, it leaves me with a more positive mindset in the sense that this is my background, my professional background, environmental health. So I think that will allow me to work with the Minister responsible for health and environment and see how best we can improve the health and environmental conditions of this country.
The opposition is saying that they're preparing for a legal battle. Are you prepared for that?
Well, it is the democratic right, and whatever they choose to is left to them. I know that the elections are free and fair, and I will continue to leave myself positive and courteous to my people, because I know that all the various processes that took place during the elections was actually free and fair.
And children from various parts of the island have already seen Christmas. For the first time, the President's annual Christmas Kids Party was held at the new State House on Saturday. The President, His Excellency Charles Savarin, and his wife hosted 281 children ages 4 to 12 from the Roseau area. Children got the opportunity to participate in several activities, including dance, bouncing castle, and other activities. The party was co-sponsored by Ross University and the Embassy of the People's Republic of China. Last year, the party was held for children in the Grand Bay, Bellevue, and Pichelay area in Grand Bay. Meanwhile, the Rotary Club of Roseau hosted its annual Christmas party at the Bells Primary School for 56 children in the area, including the contestants of the Dominica Carnival Princess Show. The club was supported by Mr. Alejandre Bombois, Mistress Joan Burke, J.E. Nassif, Fine Foods Incorporated, and Jolly's Pharmacy in hosting this year's party. The children of the Silver Lake and neighboring community also benefited from a Christmas party from the Bank of Nova Scotia. The bank partnered with the Love One Teach One Foundation to host the party. The party was held at the Baffin State Community Center on Sunday. A football scout gives feedback on the performance of Dominican footballers. More on this and other sports stories next with Gavin Richards.
Distinct, authentic, with a storied history. This is not just a drink, it is an attitude, a straight-up approach where the brown-nosing conformers need not apply. It's embracing a chilled manner that leaves the hysteria to the bridesmaids and standing up against the sameness, blandness, and colorless. It's striving for extraordinary, because after all, who wants the ordinary? Appleton Estate. That's how I like it.
A weekly sports magazine featuring fresh, exciting and stimulating interviews on local and regional sporting events. Gavin Richards keeps his eyes on sports live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Repeat Sundays 12 noon on Marpins Channel 5.
Your style, your taste, your look. As individual as you are. Find the furniture piece that's right for you, only at Courts. Choose from our wide selection of fresh new designs, luxurious comfort, and contemporary elegance. Best of all, it's more affordable than you think. So create the room that's all about you. Come into Courts today, where furniture is fashionable. Courts, bringing value home.
First up, some football news. Football scout Uzoma Obi says he's impressed with the talent he saw on display and is optimistic that a few players could be selected to further their football careers. Uzoma Obi is a football agent and founder of Sports Solutions Management, which is a licensed players agent by the English FA. Obi observed a friendly match between the under-20 and under-17 football teams on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. There's one youngster that I've seen who hopefully on Monday we'll see more of him. I think he got injured in the second half, but he's way above a lot of the players that I've seen here, and we'll see, hopefully.
Okay, based on what you saw this afternoon, what sorts of areas do you think the guys need to improve on for Monday?
It's difficult. I mean, first touch is important. You know, awareness of what's going around, you know, on the pitch. But, you know, I mean, they're young. Remember, some of them are 16, 17, so they're young. You know, they'll improve anyway. But like I said, the first touch is very crucial if you're going to play professional football.
Do you think maybe the guys might not have performed to their best given the amount of pressure they would have been under, being observed from you?
Most definitely. But the thing is that if you cannot perform under pressure in a situation like this, it's going to be difficult for you to get to that next level. You know, so if you're a young professional, be you 15, 16, if you can handle the pressure, that's the first step.
Okay, so what comes next? Let's assume you do select one guy on Monday. What's the next step for that guy?
It's a long step. Basically, what I'll do is I'll have the videos edited, see if I can focus on that particular player. Then I go back to the UK, hand the video to a few friends, clubs, agents, and say, okay, this player, I think he's a good player. And then they'll have a look. If it's a player they like, then they'll ask for the player to be brought down. They'll send a letter of invitation, and we'll take it from there. He'll be invited for trials. But it's a very long process. It's not clear-cut and straightforward.
In some more football news, Exodus continued on their march towards the DFA Premier League title with a win to kickstart round 2 of the DFA Premier League.
Defending champions, Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers, and the leaders Exodus Football Club both recorded victories to kick off the round in the Lime Premier League, while in the Domlec Women's League, the defending champions New India Golden Stars suffered their first defeat as action continued in the National Leagues of the Dominica Football Association over the weekend. We begin the Lime Premier League on Sunday, where defending champions Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers defeated Icons Football Club 2-0 at the Benjamin Park. The one Nibla scored for Bombers to give his team a 1-0 advantage at the interval. Bombers' second goal came from Icons player. At the Nibla playing field, the league leaders Exodus Football Club benefited from an own goal in the second half of play to defeat Maosoka Strikers 1-0 as they stretched their lead further in the race for the title. Meanwhile, in the Dominic Women's League on Sunday at the Baffin State playing field, Naima Africa registered a 6th goal for the season when she scored in the first half to give Dive Dominica Harlem United a 1-0 victory over defending champions New India Goodwill Runners. This was the first defeat for Goodwill Runners, while Harlem remains undefeated after 4 matches. Earlier, New Generation Sports Club failed to show up for their match against Maosoka Strikers in what was supposed to be a double-header at the Baffin State playing field.
On to cricket. President of the Dominica Cricket Association and Vice President of the West Indies Cricket Board, Emmanuel Nanthan, says cricket academies are the first steps into helping West Indies regain their position as the top cricketing nation in the world. His comments at the official opening of the National Cricket Academy in Portsmouth on Sunday. The academy, which began operations earlier this year, targets a number of cricketers between the age of 15 and 18.
This afternoon is about a dream to ensure that our West Indies team is the best team in the world. To do so, we have to work in every nook and every cranny around the West Indies, around the Caribbean. The players are not going to fall from heaven like manna. The players have to be identified and nurtured in every community around Dominica. And we here in the Dominica Cricket Association and the Cricket Academy is trying to play our part. We're very thankful for those who assist us financially, but we're more thankful to the parents who support us.
Meantime, Director of the Academy and Windwards and National Cricket Captain Liam Sebastian says programs like these will benefit cricket development.
It's always easy to start such projects, but the challenge is to maintain them and to make them better. Thus far, we have seen challenges with the first segment of the Academy, but without them, I don't think that we will be able to grow. I am confident that we will continue to receive the backing of and support from the government, the Dominica Cricket Association, the parents, the players themselves, and all those involved to make this project a success. I say this because all of these aforementioned are part of the team which make up the Academy.
The Academy students have also welcomed the opportunity.
I think this is a good move made by the government to bring the cricketers together, which will allow them to bond and socialize in order to play as one unit. The director, Mr. Liam Sebastian, has shown keen interest in our education by giving us time to study on Friday and Saturday nights. We place greater emphasis on our education because there is always life after cricket. With the help of our excellent coaching staff, all the players are developing into well-rounded individuals because we have also learned how to cook, clean, iron and wash.
I was very delighted when I was chosen as one of the best under-19 players in Dominica to join the Academy. It was a chance for me to play more cricket and meet new players. It was also the opportunity to better myself as an individual and a cricketer. As the youngest player in the Academy, I had to work as hard as possible to reach the top, which I will continue to do. We received full assistance from the coaches and other players. The coaches worked hard with us and had a lot of patience. This academy is what that determines Dominica's future in cricket, and I am very happy to be a part of it.
And West Indies Chairman of Selectors Clive Lloyd says the upcoming series with South Africa will be a chance for Sheldon Cottrell to make a name for himself. The West Indies will face South Africa in the first test this week. Cottrell has caught the eye of the chief selector with his left-arm action and ability to swing the ball.
You know, he's always very enthusiastic, and being a soldier, I think he's fit enough and so on. And he wants to play, so no doubt about that. He is, yeah, and left-arm quicks don't come often. And it's somebody that we need to, you know, to nurture and take along with us really as long as possible.
You think he can be somebody that can have an impact in this series?
Well, I think he'd be somebody different once we decide that's the way we're going to go. And as I said, he's something different. His left arm, I think, could be very lively. And on these pitches here, if he swings it and bowl as well as he's been bowling, he would give batsmen some trouble.
And in case you missed it, Nathan Lyon picked up 12 wickets, 7 in the second innings as he bowled Australia to a 48-run win over India in the first test last weekend. India were chasing 364 on the final day and was solid in reply at 242 for 3, but Lyon turned things around on its head, taking 7 for 152 as the Indians were sent crashing to 315 all out. Virat Kohli scored 141 and Vijay 99. The final scores in that test: Australia 517 for 7 declared and 290 for 5 declared. India 444 and 315. In some other related news, Australian captain Michael Clarke has been ruled out of the remainder of the series due to an injury. Stephen Smith will replace him as captain. That's all the time for sports. You can join us next time. I'm Garth Motors.
This is Channel 5 News. The headlines: a businessman and former Attorney General make up new cabinet of ministers. Head of Commonwealth Secretariat election observers deny partisan affiliation. And Chief Elections Officer has agreed to investigate UWP complaints. Send your questions and comments to news@marpin2k4.com. We'd also like to apologize for internet service issues due to technical difficulties with our bandwidth provider. Middle Caribbean network subscribers will experience slow or no internet service. Efforts are ongoing to have this rectified. On behalf of the production team, I am Lorian Graham. Thank you for watching.